I'm Ryan O'Doud, and you're listening to Ryan's Audiobooks on the Issues Magazine YouTube channel. Today we continue with Section 10.4, in Adam from the Son of Knowledge, by Lex Hixon Nur Al Jerrahi. We're picking up towards the end of Chapter 2, Salat. Ablutions before prayer. In the transfigured earthly existence created by the intense atmosphere and delicate fragrance of salat, water takes on the sacramental power of purification and transformation. Because salat is the ascension of the faithful, it transports lovers to the transcendental palace of the Sultan of Love. Before entering the intimate presence of the cherished sovereign, we are rightly concerned to prepare ourselves. Salat is meeting the Holy King, not in the spacious audience hall where every conscious creature can come, but in the private royal chambers opened for all humanity by the beloved one of Allah. How fresh, how pure, how unencumbered we must be to enter there. There is no earthly garment magnificent enough for this meeting, this communion, this union. We not only remove our sandals before approaching the burning bush of Salat, but our entire body and mind must be transformed. Once we really know where we are standing, we can no longer wear the stained robes of conventional consciousness. We would be shocked to observe someone in the mosque wearing muddy boots and making the movements of prayer. But these boots, covered with soil from the sanctified earth, are much more pure than an egocentric awareness that prays to be seen by others, to maintain cultural identity, or to escape hellfire. How can we obtain a robe of stainless, selfless awareness in which to perform true salat? Allah alone can provide this, as He provides every miraculous gift by which we exist and praise. The ablution before prayer is the royal wedding garment with which we can authentically enter divine presence and delight in the communion desired by the mystical king. The ablution of Islam is not a form of washing, but a transformation of the whole being, including physical body, etheric body, emotional body, mental body, and subtle body. This ritual purification is not merely symbolic, but is accomplished by water that has become waves of divine blessing, or barakah. That the spiritual state of ablution does not come through washing with physical water is further confirmed by another divine permission. The valid sacrament of ablution may be performed with clean dust from the earth whenever water is not available. An oral tradition of the Prophet, upon him be peace, reveals that the spiritual body in paradise, which is composed purely of divine light, manifests a special brilliance at those places, such as face, forearms, and feet, that have been touched repeatedly during temporal existence by the empowered water of ablution. Our own experience directly confirms this teaching concerning the transformation of the earthly being by ablutions. One feels total refreshment and renewal of body and spirit after performing the ablutions of Islam in the name of Allah Most High, regardless of the mundane pressures and distractions that constantly impinge on consciousness. This can be tested and demonstrated again and again. As well as preparing us for the mystical ascension of Salat, the sacrament of ablution can be used to counteract anger or depression. Persons on the steeply ascending path to union with truth renew their ablutions perpetually, not only to prepare for Salat, but to perform the prayerful act of human existence itself. Sufi saints renew their ablutions if they forget supreme reality, even for an instant, or become even slightly distracted by the surface world. The ablutions before prayer need to be renewed after acts of elimination and passion. This does not imply any negative judgment that the natural world is impure. All the creations of Allah are essentially clean and pristine. Beneath the opaque surface of the conventional cultural landscape that we usually perceive lies the perfect creation of Allah, composed solely from divine attributes, manifesting harmoniously through inconceivable divine wisdom and mercy. The noble ablutions of Islam permit us to enter consciously into this radiant garden of creation. As Allah Most High instructed His beloved Prophet in the glorious Quran, "Send forth your gaze into my creation." Can you encounter the slightest imperfection, injustice, incoherence, or disharmony there? This Quranic passage goes on to reveal that the powerful gaze of the Prince of Prophets returned from this journey through the depth of divine creation, astonished and overwhelmed. We renew ablution after sleeping because the ablutions of Islam create perfect wakefulness to the divine call. We renew ablution after shedding blood because the ablutions of Islam constitute the healing and protection of our earthly being. These ablutions help us to stop identifying ourselves as limited bodies and conditioned minds. This clarification by water allows us to perceive with eyes of the heart that we are limitless souls incarnated in the beautiful environment of divine manifestation. Only with the purified perception can we truly participate in Salat. The ablution is as essential to Salat as standing to face the noble city of Mecca. Just as the spatial direction of prayer, while remaining geographical fact, is transformed by Allah into the mystic direction of divine transcendence, so the water of ablution, while remaining the precious earthly substance that quenches our thirst, is transubstantiated into the purifying and transforming power of divine light. Dua, Salat, and Dhikr. 3 dimensions of prayerfulness exist in Islam. Dua is the concrete personal prayer or petition for oneself, for family and for friends, for all humanity, for all conscious beings. After the completion of Salat, there is an open space for dua, but Salat itself maintains neither a personal nor a petitionary focus. Salat is pure praise, affirmation of unity, mystic communion. Salat is not our subjective individual form of supplication or gratitude, but rather the objective communal science of ascension and union. Salat is more a vast cosmic laboratory of divine demonstration than it is a private inward devotion. Dua, or supplication, can seek with confidence from the All-Merciful the fulfillment of any longing, and can be resorted to at any time with or without the performance of ablution. In addition, what may be termed prayerful speech pervades the entire daily life of Islam in the form of various characteristic affirmations. Inshallah, Allah willing. Mashallah, may it be pleasing to Allah. Alhamdulillah, all praises are due only to Allah. Astaghfirullah, may Allah forgive us, and many others. Even though Allah is the most holy divine name in Islamic tradition, the people of Salat are encouraged to intersperse and beautify their speech with this powerful utterance. Such traditional phrases can be used merely conventionally by the immature or with great sensitivity by those who are spiritually mature. In either case, the beautiful divine name Allah carries transforming power. Even the most mundane spheres of communication in Islamic culture thus become filled with the atmosphere of prayerful speech. The third dimension of prayerfulness is dhikr, which simply means remembering. With grateful love and awe, the spiritually awakened person constantly remembers the existence of Allah Most High, remaining in this blissed state of recollection or recollectedness during every form of activity, even while dreaming. Clearly, it is Salat that makes this profound realization possible, not just for a few highly trained contemplatives, but for millions of devout Muslims in every generation of global Islam. Dhikr is a unique way of remembering. Not like remembering the time for prayer or recalling other important information, but more like remembering that one exists. In the spiritual station of dhikr, the primordial sense of consciously existing is focused on supreme reality, which is the only consciousness, manifesting as innumerable conscious beings. Sufis call this the eye of certainty. In the true state of dhikr, there cannot exist even a thread of doubt or an atom of separation. Interpreting the whole noble Quranic verse, "If you remember me, I will remember you," the mystic recognizes dhikr as the divine remembrance, as Allah remembering, throughout time as well as timelessly. Dhikr resembles Salat in the sense that it belongs primarily to Allah, not to humanity. Our individual personhood is expressed through dua. Unlike Salat, but like a dua, dhikr is appropriate in every moment, under every condition, at least inwardly. But dua is a state that comes and goes, whereas dhikr, when mature, becomes a permanent spiritual station. Dhikr may manifest at various times with various levels of intensity, either externally or inwardly, formally or informally, but it remains essentially continuous, indivisible, without subject or object. Salat, even when it enters mystic union, retains a strong characteristic of praise, whereas dhikr although operating through repetition of various divine names, leaves the names and comes to the one who is named, as our Grand Sheikh Muzaffar Effendi used to say. In Salat, creation is praising its creator. In Dhikr, creation is unveiled as a tapestry of divine names, or essential energies, which are constantly turning toward essence, of which they are emanations. In Dhikr, the veils of creator and creation fall away. Ablutions are not technically necessary for the performance of Dhikr, which belongs to the secret heart, always elevated and pristine. However, if one is performing Dhikr in congregation joining a circle of dervishes under the guidance of a sheikh, one establishes ablutions out of respect for the mystic guide. One would probably already have ablutions, in fact, since the traditional ceremony of divine remembrance is usually conducted just before or after night prayer. However, Sheikh Muzaffar Effendi, when operating in secular Western society, would invite the public into a circle of Dhikr without even requesting them to remove their shoes. This confirms the essential freedom of Dhikr from any restrictions or ritual context whatsoever. Dhikr may be practiced silently or aloud in solitude, while sitting, walking, standing, or lying down, either following the guidance of a sheikh, who is a living link in the mystical succession that extends back to the noble Ali, or simply by the inspiration that comes to every soul from Allah Most High. The practitioner of Dhikr may use the prayer beads characteristic of Islam, or simply the living beads of each breath or heartbeat. Dhikr can be continued for a specific number of repetitions of various divine names, or it can extend continuously, awake and asleep. The central form of Dhikr is La ilaha illallah, nothing exists apart from Allah. Salat, according to the prophetic custom, is followed by a brief communal Dhikr, usually accomplished in silence, counting on beads or with fingers. The congregation or the solitary person repeats 33 times each the fundamental affirmations of divine magnificence. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Although this particular practice descends from the Prophet of Islam and contains many secret spiritual benefits for the individual practitioner and for humanity as a whole, it is not a formal part of Salat and therefore remains optional. Following the reliable words of the beloved one of Allah, Salah is the greatest dhikr. We can conclude that no matter how fervent one's supplication or how intense one's divine remembrance, Salat remains the base and heart of Islamic spirituality while on this earth. In paradise, dhikr becomes central, for there can be no more Salat, only direct divine presence. In the Garden of Essence beyond the far boundary of paradise, even dhikr ceases. When we participate in dhikr, communally or individually repeating La ilaha illallah, Allah, or simply Hu, we are losing ourselves in timelessness, abandoning our relation to temporal existence, which is the praise of the sublime creator by the humble creature. By contrast, Salat is always rooted in time, in creation, in praise. By Salat, temporal existence is stripped of its conventional egocentric veils and becomes the blessed experience of divine holiness, divine sovereignty, divine mercy pouring through creation from the far horizons of the universe to our own intimate hearts. Although sanctifying temporality, Salat faces eternity. Salat establishes 5 royal residences in the landscape of each day: Fajr, Zuhir, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. At each of these resplendent palaces, we are offered intimate audience with the supreme sovereign of all realms, regions, dimensions. What would be a memorable event, even once in an entire lifetime, meeting with the mystical king, becomes an awesome and delightful opportunity 5 times every day. May we appreciate even an atom of the honor and sublimity conferred upon humanity by Allah Most High through his noble messengers. Thus concludes Chapter 2, Salat. Continuing on. Mevlud. The Mevlud is a literary genre that appears in local languages throughout the vast expanse of global Islam. The most sublime poetry, musical performance, and purified emotion of Muslim tradition gather around this expression of devotion for the Prophet and his family. The particular version interpreted here into an enriched English was composed by the Turkish mystic saint Suleiman Çelebi, including the miraculous signs at the natural birth of the prophet and his mysterious ascension through the various planes of being into the unimaginable source of being. This poem is chanted on such illumined occasions as the prophet's birthday and his night journey, or mirage. This poem is sung or recited as well to celebrate the birth of a child or the passing of a soul. The present English version was first read aloud by its author during the early spring of 1985 at the Mosque of Delight, the Masjid al-Farah, in New York City, to celebrate the 40th day of Sheikh Muzaffar's passing from this reflected world into the original realm of divine beauty. Chapter 3, Mevlud, Mystical Biography of the Prophet. Way of Truth and Light of Prophecy. Bismillahir-Rahman-Ir-Rahim. May every action, every thought, and every breath be taken in the most holy name of Allah, who is infinitely tender mercy and boundless compassion. We sincerely invoke the name of Majesty, Allah Most High. This beautiful name is always on the lips of the servants of Allah. This all-powerful divine name is given even to the most humble, bearing the sweetness of the all-merciful and the invincible strength of the all-sublime. Were every act and intention taken with Bismillahir-Rahman-Ir-Rahim, humanity would immediately reach perfection. May we breathe Allah, Allah with every breath, bringing the entire universe to spiritual fulfillment. The servant who repeats the name of Allah with love will see all sense of sin and separation swept away like leaves in autumn. The name of Allah is most pure and instantly creates purity of heart in the one who breathes Allah, Allah unceasingly, thus fulfilling the highest purpose of human life. Come to the rapture of divine love. Come, brothers and sisters, shedding tears of love and overwhelmed with awe, so that the Sultan of Love, supremely generous and inconceivably holy, may shower his sweet mercy upon us all. Allah is perfect unity. Never allow the spontaneous affirmation of unity to disappear from your awareness, no matter how many deluded teachings proclaim disunity. Before all worlds and before eternity, Allah alone is. This divine completeness is incomparably more complete than creation with its human beings and angels, earth, moon, sun, subtle realms, and highest paradise. Creation flows only from Allah as the revelation of divine power and the demonstration of divine mercy. At the simple word of power be, the entire universe shines forth instantly. Were Allah to will, the same universe would vanish again without a trace. The entire spectrum of creation exists only because of the beloved first light, Nur Muhammad, may peace eternal be upon him. With open hearts we turn to the holy prophet of Allah for illumination. To be drawn into the light of Allah and not be blinded, O brothers and sisters. Repeat with longing and with love. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Rasulallah. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Habib Allah. Heartfelt and profound greetings to your sublime soul, O incomparable prophet and uniquely beloved one of Allah. Welcome, worthy friends of Allah, gathered here only out of love. May Allah most sublime fill with ineffable fragrance the souls of those who pray for me, your slave and mystic love, and the composer of this hymn. Please offer together now the opening surah of Quran, the noble Fatiha, master key that opens the treasure of divine love. Allah brought forth humanity as the brilliant crown of his creation. Endless ranks of angels bowed before Adam at the divine command. On Adam's forehead shone the light of guidance that descended from the pre-eternal Muhammad of light. This original light of prophecy has been transmitted by the noble prophets of all nations throughout history, culminating as the beloved Muhammad of Arabia. The light of prophecy remained unwavering on Prophet Adam's brow until he departed from this world, and then this light moved to the gentle brow of our holy mother Eve. Next, the prophet Seth, upon him be peace, received the primordial Mohammedan light, which increased its manifest radiance as the generations passed. Thus the holy prophets Abraham and Ishmael, upon them be peace, received this precious light of revelation. The lineage of this light extended from brow to brow in unbroken transmission through 124,000 messengers, including Moses and Jesus, upon them be peace, until it reached its culmination as the pearl of the universe, the temporal Muhammad, mercy of Allah to all worlds. Such is the transmission of the divine light from pre-eternal light to historical culmination of light. Be in awe of the resplendence of the Prophet of Allah, O lovers, and be confident in the power of his compassionate intercession. Descent of the Prophet's soul. Blessed Amina, tender mother of the pearl beyond price, is with child by Abdullah, faithful servant of Allah. The hour of nativity is approaching. On this mystic night when the soul of the Holy Prophet descends, there are wonderful signs of the good pleasure of Allah Most High. Amina recounts, I see beautiful lights surging from within me and streaming from my house with ever-increasing intensity. The sun circles around this divine light like a dazzled moth. Earth and heaven shine with gem-like clarity and splendor. The radiant gates of paradise open wide, and the principle of darkness is overcome. 3 angelic beings appear, bringing banners of light, which they raise in triumph in the east, in the west, and upon the holy Kaaba. Countless ranks of angels descend and circumambulate my humble dwelling as though it were the sacred abode of Allah. This angelic multitude reveals to me that their leader and sheikh will now manifest on earth to bless humanity. In this mode of spiritual vision, I see a silken couch descending, attended by angels lost in adoration. My heart overflows with joyous wonder. Through the will of the room step 3 shining Auris, wisdom maidens of paradise. The first is blessed Asiya, who nurtured the prophet Moses. The second is sublime Lady Maryam, virgin mother of the Messiah, Jesus. The third is their graceful attendant. With foreheads clear as a full moon, they approach me and, bowing low, utter in sweet and no loving tones, Assalamu alaikum, may divine peace be upon you. They sit joyfully around me while each announces the coming and sings the praises of Muhammad Mustafa, the Chosen One. They say to me, never since the creation of the world has a mother had such cause for exultation. No son like this son of yours with such fullness of power and grace has ever been sent by Allah Most High for the healing and illumination of the earth and its peoples. You found supreme favor with Allah, O delicate and lovely Amina, for your son is a spiritual sultan, possessing the secret knowledge of truth and perfectly expressing in his very being the affirmation of divine unity. Humankind and angels are longing to gaze upon his luminous countenance. Even the heavens are turning toward him in awe as his shining soul descends. This is a supreme night promised by Allah and the prophets of Allah. The whole creation is rejoicing, for manifest being is miraculously transformed tonight into paradise to receive this glorious soul, the mercy of Allah. This is the night that mystic lovers have long awaited. All persons of love are so elated that they cannot sleep. Muhammad Mustafa is the sanctuary for all who are lost and wandering. He is the tender, divine compassion that unveils paradise even in this world. Thus the circle of holy women speak to my heart, setting it on fire with love and yearning. I thirst for truth. I burn with the fever of ecstasy. A brimming cup is brought at once to Blessed Amina, a drink of perfect clarity, the snow-fresh coolness of perfect wisdom. No nectar was ever so sweet and satisfying. Gratefully I drink this water from the central spring of paradise. Divine light fills my entire being. I cannot continue to distinguish my separate self from this all-encompassing radiance. Rise in spirit, brothers and sisters, for at this moment our mother Amina perceives a white dove, descending on brilliant wings that stroke her back with delicate strength. The Sultan of Faith is given to humanity at this very hour. Earthly plane and heavenly realms are drenched in the luminous rain of divine grace. Turn to him, approach him, offer him your salams and your complete dedication. Paradise will spring from your tears of longing. To be drawn into the light of Allah and not be blinded, O brothers and sisters, repeat with longing and love. As-salatu wa salahu alayka ya Rasulallah. As-salatu wa salamu alayka ya Habiballah. Heartfelt and profound greetings to your sublime soul, O incomparable prophet and uniquely beloved one of Allah. All creatures now sing greetings to the Prince of Prophets. The sorrow of the world is dissolved and the universe flooded with new life. The mountains and the stars join a circle of conscious beings crying out with the sweet melodious voices. Marhaba ya Rasulallah. Welcome, Prophet of Allah. Welcome, incomparable Sultan of Prophets. Welcome, fountain of mystic knowledge. Welcome, treasury of the secret meanings of the Holy Quran. Welcome, healing balm for all world's afflictions. Welcome, nightingale from the garden of divine beauty. Welcome, bearer of the universal forgiveness of Allah. Welcome, moon and sun of Allah's mercy. Welcome, perfect focus of the truth. Welcome, shelter for the wandering soul. Welcome, unwavering spirit. Welcome, Ya Saki, a cupbearer of the wine of love. Welcome, sublime vision of those who truly adore. Welcome, Prince of humankind, beloved of the Creator. Welcome, illumination of longing souls. Welcome, most intimately cherished friend of Allah. Welcome, most beloved soul. Welcome, intercessor for the entire universe. Welcome, O Sultan of Prophets, for whom the earth and paradise were both created. Your face shines with the intensity of noonday sun. Your powerful right hand lifts up those who have fallen among the way of truth. You are the only foundation and solace for the lovers of reality. You are the spiritual refuge for all conscious beings. You are healing for hearts broken by the world. You are the delicate spiritual joy of the heart that turns away from the world. O Sultan and Sheikh of all creation, O President of the Parliament of Prophets and Mystic Guides, O clarifying light for the eyes of human beings, both saints and simple believers, O final one to mount the throne of prophecy, O seal of the prophets and distributor of the light of prophecy to all hearts. Your face makes the whole creation shine with greater clarity and brilliance. Your rose-like beauty fills the hearts of lovers with the fragrance of roses. You overcome the night of spiritual ignorance and error, bringing the vineyard of realization to fruition with the sunlight of the Holy Quran. O beloved one of Allah, please assist us along the mystic way and permit us to gaze upon your face of beauty at the end of time. When the messenger of Allah, the perfect reflection of divine mercy and compassion, shines on earth with incredible beauty, each angel sings out in delight, and the very earth trembles in sweet transport. Blessed Amina is lost in awe and amazement. Entering total ecstasy, she is granted a vision. She finds herself suddenly alone in the transparent presence of Allah. The wisdom maidens have vanished, and with them her newborn son. The sweet mother feels no attraction for this state of mystic union, and prays fervently to Allah to return her to beloved Muhammad Mustafa. Turning, she discovers the babe, the welfare of humankind deep in worship, facing the direction of the Holy Kaaba in the position of full prostration. He now sits back and intones the prayer of witness to divine unity. Ashadu ana la ilaha illallah. Pointing with the first finger of his small hand, the babe cries proud to Allah in heart-melting tones, O Allah, I turn to you and to you alone. Bring me my spiritual community. Let all human beings achieve nearness to you. The sweet Amina perceives this vision with such vivid clarity that she falls to the earth in prostration. My mind now returns to the accustomed plane of awareness, and the vision of the babe in prayer dissolves, revealing my precious son before me. But to confirm the miracle, his cord is already severed, his eyes are lined in dark charcoal, and his circumcision is already perfectly performed, although I am entirely alone in the room. His noble small face shines with a conscious smile like the sunrise that awakens my deepest love. My heart is overwhelmed with the fire of divine love. I clasp the holy child to my breast and weep. His lips are struggling to form words, not moving fluently as in my vision. When my heart bent close, I can hear with wonder the delicate sounds, not baby talk but pure Arabic, as he submits his will to the will of Allah and murmurs over and over again, Ummati, Ummati, my spiritual community, my people, all humanity. It is for us, dearest brothers and sisters, that this newborn infant intercedes, praying that we will be well guided along the straight path of wisdom, truth, and love. My spiritual community. He addresses us so tenderly. Let us offer him our perfect loving salams in return, for to love the messenger of Allah is perfect healing and perfect peace. During this mystic night of the Prophet's birth, certain noble and upright citizens of Mecca, circumambulating the holy Kaaba while deep in worship and concentration, perceived through spiritual vision the entire house of Allah down to the descending soul of light and right itself again with every stone in place. These true worshippers turn to one another and proclaim spontaneously, the welfare of humankind has finally taken birth among us. Their spiritual ears hear the holy Kaaba speak in triumphant tones. Tonight is born a soul as radiant as the sun who will bring healing and clarifying light to all humanity. He will cleanse my sacred space from all idolatry and lower forms of worship, purifying the delusion that imagines any source of life, power, and wisdom other than the one source. His spiritual community with purity of heart, humbly living the holy way of life, will circumambulate me barefoot as Moses faced the burning bush without covering their heads and with earthly veil. Upon this mystic night of nights, the drums of the jihad of truth resound, and Satan tumbles from his false heaven of arrogance like a falling star. In the sacred and ancient house of Allah, elemental forces inhabit the idols that are immediately driven out, unable to exist any longer in the atmosphere of purity generated by the descent of the Prophet's soul. We're going to end there for now. That was section 10.4. Adam from the Son of Knowledge by Lex Hixon Nur Al Jerrahi. Next time we'll pick up section 10.5 in the middle of chapter 3, Mevlud. I will see you then. Alam.